Good afternoon and aloha, everybody. Welcome on in. I'm your host, BullMuscle. We got ourselves a great little show going on today. I got the fan running over there. If it is distracting at all, just let me know. I'll turn it down or off. But it feels really good. You know what? I know how to just a touch better. That's better. Keep it away from the mic. Pulling Ladola for a lithium dispenser and Fernando Cruz. There we go. Talking baseball. Get this just right. There we go. Okay, that makes it a lot quieter. Air's still coming through, but now it's a lot less intrusive. So, sorry about that. Ladola for a lithium dispenser. You know, I have not checked baseball standings in a hot minute. Let's do that before we get diving on in. Let's go ahead and pull up the old JFX launcher. Play ourselves a little old school. What are the MLB standings right now? MLB standings. And the Nationals are, 7 games below 500. Not what I'm hoping for. I love the, yeah, it's funny to me that this is considered I say good evening, but really isn't evening here. It's afternoon. It's not even 5, but, it's quite late the rest of the country. This lid is not as tight as I needed to make it. There we go. I was going to pour myself some tea, actually. I did get a brand new cast iron Japanese tea kettle, which is really neat, but unfortunately I don't have any cups for it yet. I could use, a Moscow Mule mug, which I may do at some point for tea, but eventually I'm going to get myself a nice pair of Japanese teacups. This isn't even a fart can car. That's just an airplane going overhead. That happens pretty much everywhere on Oahu. It's not as bad as being near the base, because that's where all the F-22s go through. You hear them fuckers. There ain't much you can really do about that. So, anywho. Big Red, it's good to see you again, of course. We're doing our second stream today. So I have been out trying to tan, trying to improve a little bit of the color, get a little bit more sun-kissed, but I've got it. And there's the motorcycle. But been really trying my hardest to get the... Really, dude? Been really just trying my hardest to get in the perfect shape for August 3rd. That's the big modeling show date. We're going to get there. It's tough right now. Weighed in 217 at midday today, so still got a few pounds to shed. My trouble's been I've been getting good down to about 214, 215, and then I fuck up, and then it sends me all the way back up to 220. I just have to have good days. Can't have any more shenanigans, basically, is what it really comes down to. So we'll close that off. There we go. Play ourselves a little... We'll do a little scaping, as we normally do, but I'll take that off for just a moment. We've got ourselves... Got ourselves a little GE sale. There we go. And we'll put the window capture back up. Nice. Okay. So we'll collect. Bank it. We just sold a couple cooking apples to get a little bit more inventory freed up. We'll do a little smithing. We'll be chilling. Oh, it's my homeboy. I'm live on Twitch, BT Dubs. let him know. So we'll do this for a little while, and then we'll go nuke some ice giants. Slowly but surely gonna build up to. I think I'm gonna go back to membership in a few weeks, but I'd like to get to 105 smithing before I do. 50 defense, 50 prayer, 40 rune crafting, and I'd like to get my wood cutting a little bit higher, but if it's 66, I can live with it. 105 smithing's really what I'd like. So we'll do a little bit more of that while we just chilling. And if I'm gonna do it this way, I need to move this guy over here. Yep, it's an old Coleman jug. I got this for like $2 from the thrift store over in Kalihi. If it was good enough for football practice in middle school, it's good enough for streaming nowadays. They're good. They're insulated. When you tighten them down properly anyway, they don't leak. They hold a lot of water, which is good because I talk a lot on stream, and when I talk a lot on stream, I get thirsty. Hey Bowser, good to see you. It's a Saturday night, we chillin'. Got a good little show for y'all. You know, we're having a good little time. It's nice. It's nice. So, a couple other things that may be coming up in the future. I may be having another modeling show in the state of Washington in November of all times. So hopefully that goes through. If it does, and I'm very, very much hoping that could come through, I might be able to go see family, and that would make me very happy. You know, a free round trip ticket to see Ohana, yes please. I am all about that. So that would be really cool. We'll see whether or not it happens, but stepdad got his from collecting cigarette coupons. Wow. Now that's old right there. There we go. But yeah, no, we're cool. We're chilling. We got ourselves a good little time here. Now, I'd love to do that modeling show. Hopefully, so it requires that the show on the 3rd be really good. So if I get the 3rd, you know, down pat, if I have a really good show, they may cast me for the one in November. It's the same company that runs it. So I believe the name is called, let me see the poster here. It's called Marikit Fashion Show. So it's there's a bunch of fashion designers and such that, you know, they're going to cast their models, and hopefully I'm one of them. My real challenge is that I need to shed probably 5 to 7 more pounds between now and the 3rd of August. I think I can do it. I just have to be... At this point, I've fucked around for so much where I have to now be very aggressive. So I have to eat in substantial deficits. So it's not going to be fun the next 2 weeks. But if I do it properly, I will get to where I want to be, and it will be worth it. He smokes like an exhaust from a 77 Charger. Smoking is... Look, this is the trouble point, right? Smoking is very clearly bad for you, and we have all collectively known smoking was very bad for you since about 1965. So if you were born after 1965, you really don't have much of an excuse to smoke. It's shocking to me too how many people are, you know, anti-nuclear power and pro-smoking. Like they'll tell you about how nuclear power is too radioactive while smoking a cigarette, which literally gives you radiation. But you know, just saying that is smoking a cigarette is actually radioactive, very slightly, but it is. It's just funny to me. It's also, again, highly carcinogenic. That's really the main reason that, you know, you shouldn't smoke. Smoking is linked to what, 6 cancers? I mean, lung cancer, throat cancer, mouth cancer, I believe not heart cancer, but heart disease. Um, there's a couple others I know, but it's terrible for you. Yeah, I can't. It's bonkers to me how effective the tobacco industry's lobby was. That smoking was ever seen as cool. It's it's just why that just blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. And to think it just how per, you know how prevalent smoking was, how pervasive. That's the word I'm looking for. How pervasive smoking was. Really, it wasn't until the 80s or the 90s that the dividends we paid by starting to take smoking cessation seriously in the 60s paid off, and it's a good thing it did. This is one where, oof, survived the highway. Yes, that's right. Dad God rest his soul, quit smoking while I was little. That's probably why he's still alive, if anything. Hey Bowser, thanks for the three stream streak there. It's much appreciated. So my mission is to run in caloric deficit for probably 14 consecutive days. If I can do that, I will be ready to hit the model. I will hit the runway just the way I want to. Challenger's going to be doing it. The good news is I have enough food to where I don't need to go to the store. And I don't have, apart from some peanuts, I don't really have junk food in my house. And peanuts, I would not say are junk food. They're just very, very high in calories, so they pile up fast. You just have to be careful with them. So that's sort of the good news. Rolling. People always downplay cigar problems. Well, I mean, so in general, I think cigars aren't as bad as cigarettes, not because they're intrinsically better for you, but I think because typically cigars are more expensive and thus people smoke them in fewer quantities. So because of that, right, it's the same thing as, smoking less cigarettes, smoking fewer cigarettes rather, is better than smoking more cigarettes. It doesn't mean, I guess I should say less bad, but cigars are kind of the same way. It's the same thing with like Juuls or vaping. Vaping is certainly less bad than smoking cigarettes, but that doesn't make it good. That was back in 2000. Wow. Diabetes. That's a shame. Yeah, it's a tough road to hoe there. I think tobacco doesn't have any effects on your pancreas. That's one of the few things it doesn't do. But, if you have a poor diet combined with, if you combine smoking, alcohol, and poor diet, those are probably the three of the four biggest. Honestly, really, I'd say there's really the big five of killers in the United States are smoking, drinking, diet, inactivity, and cars. Those are probably, I would say, the five biggest. So one of the 400,000 votes. I don't believe I was. So I only just started playing old school. As sort of a fun side rest day stream thing to do. Just as content for Twitch. But and really it's more just content to chat to. Like, this is it's very chill. What I found about myself is that if I get super intense into a game, I'm not going to focus on. I can't focus on different things at different times, so it's kind of hard for me to do that. So I play a very chill version of RuneScape. Like I'll play something just nice and relaxed like this. 400k votes. I assume that's in reference to like the maybe some vote for bringing back the Grand Exchange, a vote for, I don't know, there were the Falador, there was the Falador Wars. There's a ton of lore behind this game, so I'm not sure what that's in reference to. All I know is, so I played it growing up. I enjoyed the hell out of it then, and I still do. Even though it's very, like, what I do mostly now is just, smith rune two-handed swords, make money, and then spend that money doing whatever the hell else I want in the game. So actually, I do feel like we've done. Yeah, let's go for a few more rounds, and then we'll go do. We'll do a little bit of, what do we have in terms of runes? We need more air runes, so we'll do, yeah, we'll grab an air talisman, we'll do a little bit of rune crafting runs, and then we'll do some training. This baby sister vapes, ugh, no, vaping's, right, all that vape e-cig juice, that's not good for you either. I mean, look, I'll talk about this as someone who's a capitalist, right? I love drugs that sell them, products that sell themselves, which is what nicotine basically does. And they took this game down, decommissioned it, they brought it back and oh, yeah, no, I know about that. So yeah, originally this was RuneScape 2, and then RuneScape 3 came out. Because they wanted to completely overhaul the graphics and a lot of other features. And so that was somewhere around 2013, I think. I stopped playing long before then. But then they brought old school RuneScape back from the 2007 era, and that's what this is. So, and really, old school is more or less run by the community at this point. Everything's just kind of voted on. Do we want to see a new skill? Do we want to see X or Y? And in general, the game, it's got its own kind of independent life. We'll smith maybe another 90 or so, and then we'll go do something else. Oh, look at that fucking cape. I love it so much. But yeah, no, if you've, what, Twitch being a pussy telling me this this streamer has strong language. So, Adiel to Fly, thank you very much for the first time chat. Welcome to the bullpen. The main reason that I keep that disclaimer on Twitch is because it's the 18 plus disclaimer. The reason I do that is because I like being able to speak my mind about whatever subject the chat may send my way. And sometimes, that can be politics or it can be whatever else. Or, I may end up cursing or saying expletives because I missed, maybe didn't hit my set as good as I wanted to. I missed a rep. My form wasn't good, whatever. I probably did that today earlier on stream. So, I'd love to be able to... Okay, so there we go. Thank you very much for the follow. Why is the alert box should be on? I wonder why it isn't. That's interesting. I'll have to figure out what's going on with the sound notifications. Because, yeah, thank you very much for the follow. But that should have played the little snort notification, and it did not. So I have to play around with that. But yeah, so I do that as my own CYA. I would rather not have to worry about the speech police from Twitch. Oh, that reminds me. So this ends tonight, but this is your last chance, if you'd like, to buy the Bobby Hill Gadsden flag that says, "That's my purse, I don't know you." I am auctioning that off, so if you're interested, check out the Discord, and you can put in a bid for that. But right now, I believe it's $20 someone wants it for, so I need to remind that. Politics is equal drama. Okay, right, so I'm talking about, let's say, we want to talk about, or, something, it doesn't just have to be politics. It could also be, dating or sex or, again, adult topics. I want chat to be able to ask me whatever they feel like. And if that's, a topic that Twitch deems to be adult-oriented, I don't want to have to censor myself. That's really where it comes down to. It's the same reason I don't really run any more ads than I absolutely have to on this channel. I'm not doing this because I want to make money. I stream on Twitch because it's fun. We've had those conversations months ago. Exactly. We'll win a Raven, yeah, I'm sure, but a lot of times new guests to the stream or new people want to ask me about those kinds of things and want to talk about them. So it convinced me to follow. Absolutely. So yeah, that's sort of my brand is like, it's mostly bread and butter's lifting, but it's a little bit more than that. So anywho, politics are huge drama. Tread that lightly because people be snowflakes and respect people to causes they have different views. So I definitely am very big on the idea that you need to talk with other people that have different views from you, because if you don't, you're never going to learn anything new. I think people who disagree with you may have a perspective that you can learn something from. And it takes humility to learn, but if you never learn, you'll never amount to much. You gotta be willing to learn. 18 plus because of those titties. Okay, so Big Red asks, so what do you think of Donald Trump's VP? So the Donald has chosen J.D. Vance out of Ohio. For the swing state value, I 100% understand why politically that might be a savvy move. However, what perplexes me about this move is that it doesn't really bring any new voters to the ticket, right? Like, for instance, maybe this is a poor example because he didn't win, although I don't think many Republican candidates, frankly, would have in 2012. But when Mitt Romney chose Paul Ryan, it was because Mitt Romney was seen as something of a moderate, and Paul Ryan was seen as this fresh conservative voice. When Ronald Reagan, right, ran for office in 1980. He picked George H.W. Bush because Reagan was seen as a conservative and Bush was seen as a moderate, right? Yes, I would say the shooting definitely did more for him than choosing Vance. My problem with Vance is that neither Trump nor Vance represent any of the values from the Republican Party that particularly appeal to me. What I mean by that is what used to be spending restraint and fiscal conservatism, as well as, pro-free market approaches. Trump and Vance support protectionism, which I don't think is ideal. Things like tariffs in general don't work. I'm very skeptical to go in on tariffs. I think tariffs in general reduce... They pass higher prices onto the consumer and they reduce overall prosperity. There may be some industries for which the tariff benefits, but effectively that's no different to me than pork barrel spending or any other special interest project, which I'm generally opposed to. Also, particularly as a Hawaii resident, protectionism in the form of the Jones Act in particular absolutely hurts people very, very badly here in terms of cost of living. It's not just Hawaii that gets affected by this. So does Alaska, so does Puerto Rico, and so does Guam. That shooting I would agree, though. The shooting was definitely a lot more consequential. And, hey, Trump looked like a fucking badass, man. Dude just got shot in the ear. He looked pretty unfazed, and he pumped his fist. I have respect for that. That's toughness. You know what? You say credit where it's due, right? I think we should definitely, take our rhetoric down. I think the rhetoric doesn't help from either side. But, when it comes to that sort of thing, I don't like the idea that it was some conspiracy by anybody to try and assassinate the president. Oh boy, it's Evil Bob. All right, fine. Yeah, let's go with Evil Bob. But so, oh boy. We're on Evil Bob's island. It's kidnapped by an evil cat. So, okay, so we gotta go over to that statue and fish there. And then we gotta, let's see, Evil Bob's island. This is... Yep, it's this one. So we need to grab our fishing net and fish here. It's part of the RuneScape lore. There's Bob the Cat and then Evil Bob. And this is Evil Bob. Anyway, tariffs are how he ruined your economy pre-pandemic. So, okay, no, this is also untrue. Trump did not ruin the economy pre-pandemic. However, he did contribute to the increase in inflation we had a few years ago in 2022 because Trump browbeat the Federal Reserve into keeping interest rates far lower than they should have. So we'll go ahead and give the fish-like thing to Evil Bob. And he's asleep, and we're out. But as far as making friends with the commies that hated us and prices of gas were low, you shouldn't. High gas prices are a good thing, believe it or not. So, hey, we got some fishing XP out of it. So I know that sounds like heresy, but hear me out, okay? The United States produces more oil than any other country on Earth and has been for the last 10 years. As a matter of fact, in 2023, under the supposedly anti-oil and gas Biden administration, we pumped more oil than we ever did in the Trump years. We have been producing so much oil that, again, we outclass the Saudis and the Russians, who are number 2 and number 3, okay? All right? So we produce more oil than anyone else. If we really wanted to crush the Russians and the Saudis, put them under our boots, all we would have to do is find a way to export some of the massive amounts of oil. 13 million barrels a day we produce. The problem is we are so gluttonous in this country. We consume so much of it because we're so wasteful that we don't have that ability. And it has crippled us politically since as far back as the 60s. And it's the big part of the reason why is the Interstate Highways Act of 1956 and its consequences. And this is my political hot take. The interstate highways were a tremendous error. They were a big mistake, and we should have never fucking built them. They were a gigantic expenditure of government spending that bankrupted the railroads because, as it turns out, when your main competitor gets 100% subsidized by the federal government, you can't compete. So Porthos, good to see you. The Russians in the Middle East are dry tapping their own reserves. Venezuela did. No, dude, Venezuela does not produce near as much oil as we do. It's not even close. We produce exponentially more oil than the Venezuelans ever did. The problem is we just consume it all. Like, seriously. Dude, it's wild. Go look at any statistics you'd like. The number one producer of crude oil in the world is the United States. We produce so much oil. It's just that we consume it all. We are just incredibly wasteful. Really, that's where it comes down to it. But here's why you should appreciate high fuel prices. High fuel prices, right? Let's talk about the basic laws of supply and demand. When the price of a good goes up, demand will react accordingly and fall off. When demand falls, the United States can then export more of it. This is why I'm a huge, huge fan of fuel taxes. In fact, the United States has not increased the federal fuel tax since 1993. That is 31 years. In other words, inflation has eaten away over 60% of the value of that tax. If we had a sane government that actually cared about fiscal responsibility, we would probably quadruple fuel taxes tomorrow to actually pay for our crumbling infrastructure and, better still, get people out of cars. We should be hoping for $7, $8, $9 a gallon gasoline because it's the only thing that will convince people to actually change their behaviors, right? This is not sustainable, okay? If we keep going down this path of artificially subsidizing gas, every city is going to look like Houston, where you have a 26-lane freeway into the city that still gets backed up. Sorry. Apologize for the rant. I feel very strongly about this. Cars make us all collectively poorer, fatter, live slower lives, and angrier. No, the Venezuelans hid their numbers. They logo private. That's bruh. Yes. Okay. So this is okay. What you're talking about, the Venezuelans subsidizing their own oil. They still, because the United States is so much bigger than Venezuela, they still did not produce as much as we did. The difference is that Right. So when the Venezuelans, okay, let's talk about this. When Chavez was the president and he used his socialist dictatorship to artificially subsidize oil, the Venezuelans, because of U.S. Embargoes, mostly kept cars they had from the 70s. Now, if you've ever seen 1970s cars, you know they're terrible on fuel for the most part. As a result, yeah, Venezuelans were very inefficient with the gasoline they did end up consuming, and it, yeah, was played a big part in bankrupting the country. Having a poorly designed socialist economy was another part of it. Socialism in general doesn't fucking work. But no, the number one producer of oil in the entire world is the United States. It's not even close. Again, we produce more than the Saudis. We produce more than the Russians. I'm telling you, you can go look it up. The EIA has statistics on this. But look, where I'm going with this is the only way the United States fixes its addiction to oil is to consume less. Drill, baby, drill. We do have plenty of reserves, but it would be like trying to cure obesity by buying bigger pants. It doesn't fix the problem. Ultimately, it's just going to cause more traffic. And here's how I know, right? Living on this beautiful island here, I live in Oahu, right? So Oahu doesn't have space to build more lanes. Traffic is horrendous. Honolulu is one of the worst cities in the United States for traffic. The weather is more or less literal perfection here all year round. There's no reason that everybody should be driving. It's a small island, and the vast majority of the population on the island lives on only about a third of it. The leeward side between Kapolei and Diamond Head, or Hawaii Kai if you really want to extend the definition of leeward side. So it's not a very large chunk of land. You've got almost 1 million people in that area. The idea that you can get all of them where they need to go every single day via car is insane. Now, a lot of conservatives will rightfully say, oh, but we can't just rely on public transit. Public transit's slow and building it is inefficient and you always get government overages. And the people of Oahu know this very well. The rail is probably the biggest meme in, it's a statewide joke. I mean, the rail is hilariously inefficient. So, okay, where does that leave you then? Well, you don't have cars. Cars won't fix the problem. Public transit is too much government spending, and the government will fuck it up if it tries it. But guess what? That's where bikes come in. Yes, you should ride a bike everywhere. If you live especially here, where the climate is perfect, people care about the way they look. No, a bike is the absolute best way to get around here, especially with electric bikes. You don't need a car to get around this island if you really design your life around not using one. It's not that hard. And the rare times you do need to use a car, it's still cheaper here to rent a car or use Zipcar or use Uber or use the bus, depending on if the bus lines happen to be where you're looking to go. There are so many good options to use a car temporarily. Hell, I could still rent a U-Haul, okay? A giant fucking U-Haul to get, furniture. I mean, that's how I have all the shit in my apartment. I rented a U-Haul. I could do that twice a month and still come out ahead because I don't own a car. I don't pay maintenance. I don't pay insurance. I don't pay taxes, which here is taken in the form of registration. I don't pay fuel. For an e-bike for 5K, you can get one that goes 70 miles an hour. That's basically a motorcycle, and I do like motorcycles, especially electric ones. But no, I'm talking about an e-bike, one that you can actually pedal. You can get an e-bike for far less than that. New York City is full of bike racks. New York City is fairly well laid out. It's why New York City is so efficient relative to any other American city, right? Think about the landmass that New York City takes up. You've got 8 million people in that landmass. The city of Houston has a quarter of that in an even bigger landmass. And Houston has worse traffic much of the time. Here for my daily dose of hot guy talks about stuff he likes. I mean, that's really where I'm at. Not to mention, right, okay, between you and me, guys, this is my argument for why you all should bike. My legs are cut like crazy, okay? My legs, I've got fucking pistons for legs, brah. Like, it's so freaking nice. I can do whatever the hell I want in terms of. Oh, I didn't realize I still had big bones in here. Well, ow, deposit that. There we go. So, right, let's talk about that for a minute. The amount of good physical exercise, right? The amount of extra calories I burn, right? Biking everywhere. Do you know what that means? I can have spam musubi and I can have all this other junk food and really never gain weight. If I wanted to, or I can, be more disciplined and look like fucking Giga Chad. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Yes, it's still an e-bike. It weighs like, to me, it's not an e-bike if you don't have pedals. You have to be able to pedal it for it to be an e-bike. If it doesn't have pedals, it's an electric motorcycle. Speaking of Houston, what is up with the power? Bro, I do leg day 3 times a week. You don't need a bike. I do leg day too, bro. I can squat over 400 pounds and I bike everywhere, which is why my legs look fucking amazing. I mean, I'm telling you, bro. Adiel to fly. I don't know what state you're in, but bro, if you can find a way to make yourself car independent, the money savings are just unbelievable, dude. You'd be shocked. Let's go ahead and grab our money. Where's our money at? There's our money. Bull, do you want skinny guys to fear you? I don't care if people fear me. I don't care what other people think of me in general. Let's get an air talisman. That'll do. Thank you. Like, yeah, those are my legs. Yeah, you guys are feral. I bike, bro, but you live in Massachusetts? Well, an electric bike, dude, okay, I bike up a literal, Oahu, right, okay, let me explain something. Oahu and every island in the state of Hawaii are the tops of giant volcanoes. It's not flat here. That shouldn't stop you. You live in Massachusetts? All right, bro. Bike super steep hills like it's nothing. Exactly. So that's pretty awesome, man. Good for you. But that's exactly the point. First off, I have been to Boston. That's the only part of Massachusetts I've been to. I was actually up there for a training at, okay, I'm going to say it, Harvard. I'm only saying that because my homie from, he literally said he's from Dartmouth, and he said it like that. I'm not shitting you. This dude, absolutely great dude. He's like 6'5", built like a Greek god. But he talked like it was fucking JFK. It was hilarious. But I'll tell you what, I like Massachusetts quite a lot, actually. I like the New England values in general, of thrift. I feel like you get that in Massachusetts a little bit more than you would in other places. I really dig that. So we're going to go ahead and put our clothes on here for this. You want flat, go ride the Indiana Turnpike. FM, good to see you. But where I'm going with this is, especially in a place like Massachusetts, Massachusetts is not a large state. If you can find a way to, I mean, the cost of car ownership in Massachusetts is almost as high as it is here in Hawaii, which is number 1 in the United States, of course, because everything's expensive here. Ramble. But, so withdraw all these, we'll withdraw all these, get our death runes, we want our fire staff, there we go. Sell our kite shield, what else do we want? Want our amulet power, perfect. And we'll grab some leather gloves, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, yeah, with Massachusetts, right, they're trying to give you 10 years in jail and 2 felony for having a BB gun. Bro, that's effed up. Yeah, leave. Okay. That's awful. But either way, the whole point with a state like Massachusetts is that if you can find a way to live without a car, the amount of money you save is crazy. Like, it's such a huge deal. All right, so we're going to teleport to Falador, and then we're going to do a little bit of rune crafting, and then we're going to head to... we're going to head to the... What's it called? We're going to head it to the ice dungeon. That's it. Legs make me want to die, but booty is everything. Dirty little secret about leg day. Nobody likes leg day. Anybody who tells you they like leg day is lying. Nobody fucking likes doing squats. Alright, so we hocked our shields. That's good. There's a bunch of snowflakes that bully you if you don't democratic or liberal. They say they're woke, mean, and assault everyone, does assault the woke values. I mean, right, so I'm a centrist. When it comes to politics, there's some issues I feel left-wing on, and some issues I feel right-wing on. There are pros and cons to different approaches in different circumstances, and I do feel as though it's wise to take a nuanced approach on some issues. Well, your pecs look swole. I appreciate that. Today we hit pull day, so hit biceps, hit lats. Not really showing them very well there. Hit lats and then hit traps. So it's weird actually. I moved from, so I only moved to Hawaii very recently. I moved here from South Carolina, which, being the state that literally started the Civil War, is not exactly known for being a progressive bastion. And I've definitely felt a lot of the differences here. One thing I like here is the unionization rates are a lot higher. This is the first time I've ever been able to join a union. And I very much want to do that because I do think organized labor in general is a good thing to have. It can go too far. Britain in the 1970s would be a good example of this. All I have to say is British Leyland, and you know what I'm talking about. There we go. Do ourselves a little rune crafting. Oh, shoot. I forgot the wine. All right, we'll go back. Preach equality. How do you preach equality? Bully a kid to the point. Killed himself. I mean, I'm a huge fan of bullying, but only if it's trickle-down bullying. Hashtag Reaganomics. No. I'm not usually a fan of bullying or hazing unless it's to a productive end. I will bully my friends to make them go to the gym. But that's as far as I take bullying. Capes are a bad idea. They are, but this smithing cape looks dope, so I'm gonna keep wearing it. I generally, as far as, I think someone was asking me about how I felt about JD Vance, and where I was going with that is I don't really feel like JD Vance brings a lot to the ticket, so I don't really understand the rationale behind putting him on it. But maybe there's something Trump sees in Vance that I don't. I could be wrong. Those 4 words too are quite useful. I could be wrong. It turns out that turns out to be a rather useful phrase. All right, we'll take a few more rune essence. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, I can understand why someone would support Donald Trump. It's not some crazy mystery to me. I simply don't, because I don't think he was that great of a president last time. I think he's too old for the job, because if you thought Biden was too old for the job in 2020, the laws of math would state that you should also think the same about Trump in 2024. First off, I also don't think Trump is healthy enough for the job. This has nothing to do with the fact that he got shot. And it has everything to do with the fact that his diet, per his own words, is, fucking KFC, McDonald's, and Diet Coke. The dude is 78 years old. That's not going to end well. So that's, that I look at that and I'm like, that's a warning sign. This election is low tier on either side. At the moment, right, we have no idea who the Democratic candidate is actually going to be. It could still be Biden, probably won't be. It could still be Kamala Harris. It could be some other third person. We don't know. And so for that reason, I'm not committing to anyone right now. If Biden stays in the race, obviously he is not capable of doing the job the country needs him to. Not to say I think the Biden administration has been 100% bad these last 4 years. There have been some things much like Trump, some things I liked, some things I didn't. Overall, below average. But at the moment, Chase Oliver would have my vote. Christian with gay friends, Muslims, a whole Discord full of people who don't have the same values, respect each other. Yeah, see, I think most people still have those values. You just have to hunt for them. Now, let's go over to the rune shop and grab some more errors because we will run out at this rate. Unfortunately, I can't be president for another 5 years, but perhaps BullMuscle for governor of Hawaii? Anybody? Actually, I do think Governor Green has done a pretty good job here. I'll support Trump because he's a snake oil salesman who could sell needles to a hemophiliac. He is quite good at selling. I mean, he's an excellent salesman. That is beyond dispute. You know, a lot of people say he's what is it? A poor man's idea of what a rich man is, something like that. There we go. All right, that'll be enough air runes, at least for now. We don't have enough coins to go any further. Am I military? Kind of. I'm not active duty, but I do quite a lot of work with the military. So I'll tell you, I'm a nuclear engineer. Well, I mean, okay, no, Donald Trump got his fame because he started off very wealthy. He was the son of Fred Trump. He did quite a lot and also went bankrupt multiple times and then recovered. So he's got plenty of business acumen. Again, that's beyond dispute. But, you know, why he came to fame, I mean, he's got a big mouth. I mean, he's got a big ego, and some people are attracted to that. Some people want, you know, that kind of person in power. I understand that. I don't necessarily agree with it, but again, I can understand it. I agree. I think Biden, at this point, okay, we're too close to the end of the term to where, you know, we should be calling for the 25th Amendment now. Also, I think Kamala isn't an upgrade, so ride Biden out through the end of this term, but I think if Biden were wise, he should exit the office at the end. And no, I disagree with that. I think there are worse options than Biden out there. What Biden really is at this point is a committee. It's whoever, the idea of Joe Biden as a political entity at this point is more whoever is behind him, right? His cabinet is basically running the show. I love this track. Turn the music up a bit. So we're gonna do Fire Strike at first. We'll run out of fire runes or mind runes, and then once we're done that, we can head to using chaos runes. But yeah, I'm not military as such. However, I work quite closely with them. That's the best analogy I can say. I like to not exactly say what I do, but I'm a nuclear engineer in Hawaii. You can kind of figure it out. Liz Cheney, the Democratic... Liz Cheney is not a Democrat. Liz Cheney's record is extraordinarily conservative. She just doesn't like Donald Trump. And as a result, people think she's some woke lefty? That's stupid. I mean, that's as silly as saying, you know, any of these most recent people who have said Biden needs to not run again are Republicans. They're not. This is a problem that really bothers me. Right? What you have here is that any criticism of your own side, you automatically get assumed to be you know, in favor of the other side. I mean, after taking the gunshot and getting a mugshot, like, you know, because he committed a felony, like, for God's sake, Trump's definitely got the hood vote. That much is clear. Oh, for fuck's sake! I gotta kill the Ice Warrior first. Die. We'll fire blast you. There we go. Trump was in Home Alone too. And Home Alone 2 is a good film. I don't hate on Home Alone 2. So right now I would go with Chase Oliver, right? Because I live in Hawaii. Much like when I lived in South Carolina, my vote won't actually make that much of a difference at the presidential level. Local politics are much more important. So, you know, to me, that's much more valuable to focus on that, right? Hawaii is going to go blue pretty much no matter what I do. So I don't really stress it that much. You just fell out of a coconut tree. You exist in the contact in which we all live, and all that came before you. Yeah, I would agree with that. You know, context is a very important thing. There we go. See, now why I'm coming down here and doing fire weapons, or fire strikes and stuff like that. Ah! There we go. Ah, fail. Oh yeah, I forgot Trump was part of the USFL. He really has had his fingers in a lot of pies. There we go. Kamala only slept her way to power, tried to jail parents playing truant, changed her race, jailed her many blacks for weed that she smokes herself, but she's a woman. I don't know a whole lot about, I just don't think Kamala's done a very good job as vice president is the reason I wouldn't want to see her as president. The one issue she was given by the Biden administration was to handle the border. She has not done that very well. So that's why I don't really care for Kamala. It's not rocket science. Oh, fuck off, you bitch-ass warrior. I want to fight the fucking giants. I don't want to fight you. Your drops are trash. That was a Kamala Harris speech. I mean, right, okay. Look, right, you can be coherent. Like, you can, okay. Yes, okay, that's fine. Kamala Harris may have said things I agree with. It's again, you're not going to disagree with someone 100% of the time or think they're full of bullshit 100% of the time, right? Where I'm going with this is, again, what has Kamala Harris been in charge of more than anything else as her tenure as VP? The answer is the border. Has she done a good job at that? I would say no, frankly. I don't think Kamala has done a particularly good job. And I'm actually fairly pro-immigration, but there's a difference, again, between being pro-immigration and saying, yeah, you know, right, just saying do not come is not necessarily, that's not going to work, right? You need a little bit more teeth behind your policy than that. However, Lee, given a shitty job, tackling the border is a weird issue with the Dems. I agree. I mean, what's wild, too, is that right now it's looking like Hispanics, again, are starting to trend more towards Trump because many Hispanics immigrated legally and don't necessarily like the existing paradigm of illegal immigration, you know? All right, we'll take out this Ice Warrior since he's just going to sit there. There we go. I'm trying to gotcha you. I just think the speech is funny. I mean, right, it's not eloquent, but I wouldn't claim I'm eloquent either. So, there we go. Knock that out. There we go. Ooh, nature runes. Yes, please. Oh, how the fuck? How the fuck? Oh, okay, that's some bullshit. How the fuck did the warrior get to attack me before the giant did? Ugh. BS, bro. That's all right. We'll knock this fucker out. God, God, fuck, man. Fucking Ice Warriors are getting through between the giants. Really starting to piss me off. Let's see if we can trap you over here. Fuck. Okay, that didn't work. There we go. Six-figure Mexican Salvadorans came legally, but like the illegals, they pay a minimum wage for being illegal. No. Fuck you, Ice Warrior. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to try and... Can we get you? Nope, we can't. Okay. No. There we go. All right. Eat a dick. Eat a dick, buddy. There we go. Start raining threes on this motherfucker. Yeah, suck a fat one, Ice Warrior. I don't care. Fuck you. How come fitness guys like to play old school RuneScape? This is actually, I do have a theory about this. So, part of the reason is because fitness is a grind, and old school RuneScape is also oh my god, these bitch ass fucking Ice Warriors will just not. There we go. God damn it! The second I get back over to the little nook and cranny, the ice giant walks away, and I actually have to fucking kill this asshole. Ugh. There. I'm gonna just use prayer. Get rid of this bitch. There we go. Nice. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's just the Ice Warriors would just not stop. This is really annoying. There we go. There we go. Okay. Great, now you're dead. Let's actually fight the giant. This is what we've been trying to do this whole fucking time. There we go. Like South Sudan and dunk on the Ice Warriors. It's funny. Legal works make 30. Illegals make 15. Prices are going to go up for... Yeah, oh no, for sure. That's the thing. We need to get... Right, we need to fix the immigration system. That's going to require getting some pathway to citizenship. I think most people would agree with that. There we go. There we go. Oh, redeeming a peck bounce. You want to do shingles in 120 degrees. This facts. One on those rooftops, too. Like tar shingles. Fuckers heat up, man. All right. Bump, 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 bump. Ooh, some law runes. And actually halfway decent drop from an Ice Warrior. Peck bounce. You got it. Bump, 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 bump. Bum 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 ba-dum 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 bum bum ba-da-dum. There we go. Nah, that's all good. Look, if at some level I didn't want you to redeem the points, I wouldn't have those points redeems in place. Oh shit, I forgot I had my prayer on that whole time. Whoops. Ah. Actually, speaking of Trump and memes around that, there's a really funny meme going around of Trump. It's Trump with the fist pump pose, and he's got the protect from missiles prayer over his head, this one. Which I think is hilarious. Peck bounce, I like peck bounce. Yeah, no, I totally get it. What the? Oh, I see. Yeah, it's only up when I... Yeah. There we go. Alright, now we're getting in a groove. One declaration of marriage between a man and a woman. Okay, yeah, but we can go back into the past and see Biden talking about marriage. You gotta remember, Joe Biden has been in the Senate since 1972, right? From 1972 until 2008. So there's gonna be a lot of things Biden said back then that didn't age well, right? You know, if you want to hold past statements against someone, I don't think that's wise. Like at some level, really, if you're gonna do that, just as long as you have the same standard, then I can fuck with it. There we go. Now we're getting in a groove. They've stopped being aggressive, which means I can just pick on the ice giants. So the ice giants drop these big bones, and those big bones are really, really useful for prayer. So they're actually pretty expensive. Bull is a secret theater kid. Ugh, God no. Here we go. Got him. Yeah, now we're picking him off. This is good. Yeah, see, after a while, the warriors stop getting aggro. What's nice is now I can just sit back here and rain threes on these ice giants and not get hurt, which means I can serve prayer, I can serve food, and I can really just start putting away all the bones. Hey, Echo, good to see you. Appreciate that. What's wrong with theater? I have no problem with theater. It's just, like, not my thing. I'll put it that way. Mithril Mace. There's some kind of mid-ass drops. Oh well. The big bones are still worth it all. I got several laws, some nats, some cosmetics. It's pretty good. Okay, Lord of the Ping redeeming. Make me flex a muscle or pose, and I get to pick. So let's go with... Go for the pump. Look at the guns there. Yes, please, baby. Ooh, 4 more cosmic runes. Yes, please. Mr. Bounces pecs to a tune. I didn't even know what tune it was. Yeah, Dodger was a theater kid. 3 hours to get to a table set. Wow. Now, why would you go to a furniture store for a table set? Just buy your furniture used. That's what I did. Hell, I got this giant desk for free. It's from an office that didn't want it. Alright, we'll dump the mace and the axe, because they're not really worth much. Actually, we'll probably dump the body runes first. Yeah, we'll see. Don't judge anyone, just look around everyone's side, and that's what I noticed. I mean, it really depends, right? If you look at the polls, the majority of the country actually does support, like, gay marriage at this point. I think even most conservative politicians recognize that and recognize, you know, this fight ain't worth it. So they generally don't pursue it. You know, you could try and reverse it, but I don't... Why would you waste the political capital on doing so? Simon Stores couldn't find anything that I liked and would fit well. Ah, fair enough. Craigslist is usually where I've gone. Traditional people are... Dude, I know. Did I not explain that I moved here from rural South Carolina, like a town of 1,500 people? I know what small town living is. Trust me. I lived it. And before that, I lived in rural Texas. I'm very, very keenly aware of that. Another jug of wine. Well, I guess we got more room to fight. Too many LGBTQ. I mean... Oh, yeah, you got work in the morning? All right, Big Red. Well, it's been good, man. Thanks for hanging out. Good night. You take care. How close are we to another defense level? Yeah, we're getting there. Big bones we bury. Heritage Foundation, frag off. Fair enough. I'm not a huge fan of Project 2025. I know what the agenda is about. My biggest issue with it is that it's the government trying to pick winners and losers in the marketplace, and that bothers me. It's just different winners and losers from the ones that the current administration wants it to be. Like, it's not really that helpful. There we go. So I think the Heritage Foundation was the one behind Project 2025. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. You know, people that want to work like that, it's not happening. Look at state and local level politics. Dude, even again, like, you can go to small towns and still get married if you're a gay couple. Like, gay couples, you know, you might get some weird looks, but they're generally accepted even in small towns at this point. You know, you might have some of the more religious types trying to, you know, tell you your life is sinful, but they'll still treat you generally like you're a human being. Again, I know I've lived around these people. They're more accepting than most of the media portrayals would have you believe. My biggest issue with the conservative agenda at the moment, or really the Trump-style agenda, is, again, it's too much government interference. It's just government interference in favor of all the things the liberals don't like, as opposed to no government interference, which is, to me, what a traditional, actual conservative mindset is. LGBT is going to stay, but I know people that think it can change. I'm sure there are people. Look, dude, there are people who want to bring back, miscegenation and anti-sodomy laws, but that's not going to happen. Like, it's, if people want to tilt at windmills politically, by all means, they have the right to do so. That's what makes this country great. That's free speech. But, just because they can doesn't necessarily mean it's a good use of their time. Same-sex marriage is now, I would say same-sex marriage is right now where interracial marriage was in the 80s or the 90s. It's mostly accepted, and it's only going to become more accepted, is the way I would put it. I don't think we're seeing that one reverse. Again, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am on this in this instance. Go. All right. It's 400 your squat PR. All time is 440. I believe it's, if we go, there we go. PRs are right there, actually. That's kind of nice. I forgot I had that command. I'm glad I remembered it. So, yeah, I'm pretty strong. LGBT isn't an exact contract to be given a yes or no. It's people, well, no, right, okay, but marriage is an abstract concept to be given a yes or a no, and that was the other part of this. Now, acceptance of LGBT people is on the rise, period, no matter where you're at, even in the most rural parts of the United States. People are more accepting now than they were probably 30, 40, 50 years ago. I mean, hell, again, my example of this is in the state of Georgia, you had anti-sodomy laws on the books until 2003, right? That's just the act of being gay, basically, was illegal. So... Right, to go from that to federal marriage equality being the law of the land in 12 years, that's a big shift. So you're going to see some backlash. But overall, people are becoming more accepting of it. Yeah, I'm generally not a huge upper body fan either. Or, sorry, not. I'm the other way around, excuse me. I'm the top heavy. I had a couple injuries in my legs in high school, and so I was just kind of, yeah. You don't agree with it, don't judge. I mean, yeah. And for what it's worth, I swing more than one way, to put it, you know. I'm a huge fan of keeping that a little bit more on the private side, but when asked, yeah, I am. I just don't I generally don't make that my identity. Like, my sexuality is a very small piece of who I am. Yeah. I mean, right, there's tolerance and there's acceptance, and I'll settle for tolerance. Ooh, six natures. Yeah. There we go. What's this ice warrior doing staring at me? Do you want a piece? You don't. That's right. You're going to stare right at me there, buddy, ain't you? You're going to watch me keep wrecking these ice giants. You decide, maybe I don't want that. So the reason I come down to this ice dungeon and attack these guys in particular is because fire spells have a double effect on ice monsters. So, right, these are just fire strikes. Normally, the max hit you can get with this is an 8, but because you're using fire strike, it's actually a 16. So, like, I'm just demolishing these guys, like, pretty quick order. I'm just using up all the rest of my mind runes, too. Once those are up, we'll switch to fire bolt and then fire blast, which will go really fast. I think the fire bolt can hit 24s, and then the fire blast can hit 32s on these guys. Warcraft expansion pre-patch for our sellouts. I never played WoW. RuneScape was always my jam, but for those of you that like it, hey, killer. I'm probably gonna go after the stream. I'm thinking I'll probably have some yogurt with a little pineapple, cause I mean. Because duh. And then maybe some really nice Japanese tea. I've got some caffeine-free barley tea and black bean barley tea. In fact, I'll show it off. This stuff is really nice. So this is it's not a huge tea kettle, but it doesn't need to be. But it's cast iron from Japan. Looks really nice. Actually just came in today. And then this just, oh, the smell is fantastic. It smells like coffee, but it tastes a lot better. Oh, shit. We're out of mind runes. All right, that's cool. But yeah, this is, show this off first. So this is, yeah, it's black soybean barley tea. It's good stuff. I guess we're gonna beat him with a stick. All right. Nice. That was good. Ooh, 6 more nature runes. Yes, please. All right. So now we switch to fire bolt. Tea kettle is dope. Big question though, black or green tea? I prefer black, but I'm happy to have green or matcha. Oolong and jasmine are lovely too. Barley tea, I like Japanese barley tea because it's caffeine free, and as a result. See, like, I'm blowing this guy's head off, 22s, 24s. The reason I like caffeine-free tea is because that way at night I can have it. And it's something it's a little bit nicer than water, so it acts as a really good appetite suppressant on cut cycles. It makes me feel like I'm having a treat, even though it's, as near as makes no difference, 0 calories. And if I want to protein it up a bit, I can add milk. If you don't have Pog juice and you don't really live in Hawaii, I can get Pog juice at the store, but it's straight sugar. Why would I do that? The macros on Pog juice are terrible. By the way, Pog juice, I've seen it as 2 different ways. Usually it's pineapple, orange, guava. Some people usually, or some people, it's not often, but we'll call it pomegranate, or not pomegranate, sorry, passion fruit orange guava. This I usually don't see spelled that way because usually passion fruit here is called lilikoi, but sometimes it is. Dude, I'm just deleting these guys now. This is great. Firebolt kills them even faster. But in general, my favorite teas are Japanese, Indian, or Chinese. Teas, tea brands, find like hot water no matter how long I let them simmer. 180 to 120. That's a big swing in weight. You probably lost some muscle. That's, I mean, I don't know how tall you are. Maybe you didn't. But 180 to 120. I mean, that is quite literally 33% of your weight. That's a lot. Oh, you quit the gym. So yeah, you definitely lost muscle. Well, don't quit the gym, bro. Lifting is good for you. Now I'm back. Hell yeah. Ooh, I've never had rose tea. I bet that's very nice. I've heard tobacco tea is actually pretty nice, but I don't know if that has nicotine in it. I wouldn't want to try it. I'd be curious. Maybe I wouldn't have to worry about that. We are absolutely demolishing these guys now. This is awesome. Almond milk, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of honey, and it's bomb.com. Oh, I bet that is really nice. So if you're 5'9", 180, and then you went to 5'9", 120, 5'9", 120 is awfully skinny. That's probably pushing it as far as to how low I would go. 150 is probably a pretty solid weight for you. That's right, Confused Amish. We're just doing a little gaming. Rose tea alone is very soothing. I generally do not like plant-based milks. Not because I have anything against them, but mostly because the macros are not very good on them most of the time. They're, in general, don't contain a lot of protein. So they're often, you know, not very good for you. I love regular milk, and Hawaii milk prices do make me want to cry. Hey, all right. 49 HP. That's good. We'll hit 45 defense pretty soon here. Mint tea is really nice. Yes, I would agree with that. I like mint tea. I'm definitely more of a mint tea person than a coffee person. I love the smell of raw coffee, but I think tea is... I prefer the taste of tea. But yeah, barley tea, it's with Hokkaido black beans. This is one of the things I love about Hawaii in particular, is that you get a lot of Japanese imported goods here. We'd get more of them at a better price if the Jones Act weren't a thing, but, you know, grumble, grumble, grumble. Repeal the Jones Act. Oh, you do OMAD? Environmental impact of almonds. Try oat milk. I think oat milk might be a really good way for you to go if you prefer a plant-based milk. Soy milk isn't bad, honestly. I mean, soy is pretty decent for you, okay? There are a lot of bad myths surrounding soy. Soy is okay for you provided a couple things. One, it's not your only source of protein, okay? Soy is not a complete protein, so you need to pair it with other, if you're plant-based, you need to pair it with other plant proteins to get complete protein and not have any deficiencies. Soy also can have negative effects if you have very high quantities of it. Yes, it does have the phytoestrogen, but the amount of soy you would need to consume for that to really ever screw with your system is very high. So really, unless you're just eating just stupid amounts of soy, you don't have to worry about that. Again, take a look at how many badass, like guys like Bruce Lee, right? Think about how many badass Asian people there are out there that, you know, you'd certainly never call them, you know, not masculine or whatever. But they're, you know, they're eating plenty of soy. Oat rice milk's the best flavor-wise out of the plant milk. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, depression's rough. Oat milk is an unsettling yellow color for me. See, I would just put oats... I mean, I would just blend oats in water and then drink that, but you do you on that one. Actually, I love soaking oats in regular milk and then having sort of muesli, in effect. Breakfast, basically like breakfast oats for that. I like the texture. It's kind of mushy, but I like it. But I also just like the taste of regular milk. Cow milk's really good. Ooh, allergic to both cow and soy. I see. That makes sense. I'm sure you could make your own rice milk, too. I'm sure there's a way to do that. Oat milk looks like piss. I'll take your word for it. Dude, it is insane how much faster we're killing these guys with the bolt spells. But no, I actually gave up alcohol for 2024, really just as a New Year's resolution challenge, and because I was hitting my bulk cycle, so I really wanted to maximize my gains, and I'm glad I did it. It worked out really well. Ooh, a myth square. Yeah, I'll take that. You can sell myth squares for about 900, which is more than bones, so I'm cool with that. 5'9" supposed to be 140 to 150. 180 is being really buff. Hey, all right. 45 defense. Let's go. I'll take that. Here's my SSRIs. Ooh, yeah, that's rough. But yeah, if you were in college, yeah, for sure. College is the best place to bulk, because you can just load up. You can load up on as much chicken as you want, basically. Well, if you go to the dining halls, right? You go to the dining halls, a lot of the time it's buffet style, and you can just eat whatever and however much you want. The challenge is, of course, is that there's a shit ton of junk food that you're going to want to go for. And you got to have the discipline to know not to do that. So a lot of people won't have. We're going to go with rapid heal. That's probably the best way to do this. Oh, we got more mind runes back. Honestly, I think I'm going to punt on those. I like using chaos runes much faster. Yeah, it's less cost efficient, but I don't care. We're absolutely demolishing these clowns, so it's like, why not? Oh, you went to US lol. She made white ramen made for me every day. Oh, that's nice. Some more coins, big bones. Get back in there. There we go. Low calories. Yeah, you can. There we go. A lot of chicken for sure. Ooh, some more coins. Let's go. Run back here. We keep raining threes on these folks. So we got about 40,000 XP until we get to 50 defense. So we're making decent progress. Too high on a dose of Effexor. I don't know what that is, but wow. Huh, so I got something back from Hawaii Bicycling League about moving to Dillingham. So the focus is shifted to King Street. So it's going to be... Okay, so it's going to be Middle Street to King Street. That's kind of shitty, honestly, because it's not... the rail's going to be on Dillingham, so you want the bike paths to be with the... whatever. You don't want the car traffic going to Dillingham anyway, but... it's a pity. 12 eggs in the morning, 1 hour gym sesh. Good lord. See, I was too busy studying to do too much of that. I really wish I had taken a better advantage of the gym facilities and the food at my college. I did all right, but I spent most of my time, studying, and I ate okay, but I didn't really care that much about what I ate. See. Bury one more set of bones. Nope, nope, get back in there. We don't have enough health to do that. We need to be a little bit more careful. Spent more time in the dining hall than the gym, Jesus. Whew. We are stacking some massive hits on these dudes. It's like fish in a barrel. Trying to quit SSRIs at such a high dose made me realize that what addicts go through. That's wild, man. Whew. Addiction's a rough thing, for sure. Keep chilling our little hole here, slowly regain some health. We are doing really well, though. We are getting quite a lot of XP. Fair chunk of prayer XP, too, because we're just burying mad bones. They've stopped being aggro. It's really nice. There we go. Come on over here. Yeah, medications and drugs are ones where you're best off trying to get away with using the minimum dose possible, I would say. Ooh, got some death runes out of it. That's a nice little grab. So chaos runes are about 100 GP per, right? Yeah, so we're using 5 to 6 a piece, which means every big bones we get, we're basically breaking about even on every kill. Granted, we're burying all the big bones right now, so we're actually losing money per kill, but that's okay. We're also going to run out of air runes shortly, at which point we will have to exit, but that's alright. Can you imagine some kind of lasting damage done at the growth stage? I mean, you may want to see a shrink about that, although I don't really believe in psychiatry. I don't put much stock in therapy, but maybe it works for you. SSRIs that's a brain thing, right? It's like a type of antidepressant. I don't know what SSRIs really are. There we go. Keep absolutely demolishing these guys. Pretty soon they're going to turn aggro again. Iron 2H, that's a trash. Boom. 20, 17, 19, 6, and 8. That's a pretty good kill right there. I'll take that. Ooh, another kite shield. Yes, please. Ooh, it's the Freaky Forester. Yes, I think I will. Need to kill the three-tailed pheasant. Okay. Oh, I didn't really want to use a chaos rune on that, but bring me the raw pheasant. I guess I'll have to bury some bones. Ooh, a genie lamp. Oh, shit. They're getting aggressive with us again. What do we want to use this on? Probably rune crafting, because rune crafting is kind of a bitch. Yo, 370 runecraft XP. Very nice. Fuck. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Damn it. Alright. There we go. Alright, we'll safe spot this guy, take the bones, and teleport out. Ooh, that's a 24, yes please. The problem with the random events is that, you know, once you're complete with a random event, any monsters you're fighting will go back to being aggressive. So let's teleport out. Out we go. And we're back to Varrock. So that's a pretty good little harvest. Fair amount of bones. Got some good prayer XP out of it. Got some runes. Not bad. Not bad. 4 eggs in the morning, cheese, ham, salami, 2 toasts. I need a heavy dose of rice, bean, and chicken for dinner. Wow, that sounds pretty good. Salad, high-calorie dressing. That's nice, man. I need to try and stay under 2,700 calories a day right now. It's hard. I can easily put down 5,000 to 6,000 calories in a day and think nothing of it. Alright, we'll go throw these bad boys in. Go do some rune crafting. We'll get up a level. And we'll drink a wine to keep my character drunk. Nice. A mala and 108 conscious breaths. Ah, so meditation definitely is a good thing. I have a little secret, I have a secret little hiding spot, or not hiding spot, but like a secret place I go near here at the top of a crater, which has got the best view on the leeward side of Oahu, and that's where I go to just think, collect my thoughts. Nice. Grab some more air runes because we're gonna need them. Actually, we can go to Port Sarum and get them there. Let's do that. Knows about behaviors more than you. I'd say that's probably accurate. To me, therapy you can do better than therapy with a couple of friends, like friends you trust and respect, and that have your back. I think is far better because they'll have more insight than a therapist will. I also have a little bit of distrust towards any profession who has a financial incentive in not making you healthier. Ooh, I forgot I had a clue scroll in here. Let's do that. We'll do some rune crafting and then we'll do a clue scroll. I totally forgot we had a clue scroll. What's this one say? An Earl. Oh, that's an anagram. Oh, it says it up there. I need to disable that. Alright, we'll go over to Alcara then. We can do that. Ooh, Fiendish Ashes. Hold up. We'll take the Fiendish Ashes. Always sprinkle ashes when you see them on the ground like that, because it's free. It's free prayer XP, basically. There we go. A little bit more runecraft XP. Almost at 38. A couple more air runes and we'll get there. Ooh, more Fiendish Ashes. Yeah, we've talked about therapy. Clearance size that includes a discharge estimate. I agree. I think that's basic good practice, but I don't think all therapists do that, unfortunately. All right, you're off to bed. Let's send a cow to kick us back to Lumbridge, and we'll go do this clue scroll. Yeah, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We'll do this clue scroll, and then we'll call it a night too. So it's getting fairly late here. I have several things I could go and do. But let's go recharge our. Let's go ahead and recharge our prayer at the altar here. That's easy to do. Nice. Someone, a good friend of mine just texted me, let me know that he's explaining to his uncle how the Interstate Highways Act of 1956 and its consequences have been a disaster for American society. Makes me very happy to see that. Which, I'll update the counter. Because I said it twice this stream, so... So, Ranael is over there. Oh wow, so this plugin just basically solves it for you. That kind of ruins the fun, I guess. But I would have never gotten the... anagram. I'm not much for solving anagrams. So I don't know what any of the NPC names are. Let's go over to Alcarid. The first Jhana. Alright, a new clue. Talk to Charlie the Tramp in Varrock. Okay. Easy enough. Buddhists and Stoics agree on a lot of things. Huh. Yeah, I should check it. Maybe I'll check out Buddhism. Please, sir, can you help me? What can I do for you? Piece of iron ore. That's an odd request, but iron ore. Done. Chores and furniture assembly. Fair enough. 6 eggs and a sandwich. Looks like 3. That's probably true. You're talking fried? Like, how do you cook them? Fried, scrambled, poached? I like hard-boiled eggs. That's a mainstay for me. Hopefully we have iron ore in my bank. If not, we'll go mine some. I do have 1, but that's not enough. Looks like we're gonna go do a little mining. Radical compassion complex and no soul. Stoics believe in souls and respect rather than compassion. I would agree with that. I think there's... I don't like the idea... I'm not a huge fan of the idea that one must give up who they are and the idea of having an ego or a sense of self to achieve some inner peace. Mine a little bit of iron. Haven't done mining in so long. 68 mining means it goes pretty quick. That'll do. While we're here, we'll grab some copper. Why not? I'll have a red berry or 2. Red berries are good for pies. So go back to Charlie, the Tramp. Buddhism doesn't believe the separate self exists, therefore self-actualization is actualizing the world. I don't think that's... I don't agree with that. Charlie Arnor, a new clue. Thank you so much. What's he say? Buried beneath the ground, who knows where it's found? Luckily for you, man. You have to go... It's the hot and cold. Alright. Time to go talk to the librarian. He's mad. A lot of religions similar. Western society, go out of Western ideology. Some religions become very radical. It's interesting to see the difference. For sure. I think there can be benefits from a lot of different religions. For what it's worth, I'm Catholic. Was born Catholic. Fell out of faith in college years. Found my way back. And still consider myself Catholic, though perhaps... I would not call myself practicing at the moment. Probably need to find a church here. I just haven't. I've been kind of lazy about that. It's hard. You only have 2 days off, and then, you know, like tomorrow I'm going to go with a friend of mine to, let's see, got a clue. I do. Alright, we need to go get a spade. So it's hot and cold. Cold and warmer. So we just have to play, it's the getting cold, getting warmer game. So clearly it's south. Okay. Degree is religious studies. Ah, okay. Okay, so it keeps getting, it's warmer. Okay, so it's not this way. We'll have to go right. We'll have to go east. But I need to get a shovel, so. Bacon Zone. Welcome on in. What's your squat PR? Oop. There we go. Does that answer your question? It should. There we go. I knew we had a spade somewhere in here. So let's keep heading south. Clearly, we were on some right track there. Alright. If you look at the USA government, or one, I don't think I follow exactly what you're saying there, Fly. Catholic doctrine's pretty static. Okay, so we're getting warmer. Same temperature. Let's head down towards the river. Okay, colder. Have their beliefs the Western Muslims don't believe in it? I mean, you know, it's also important to look at context, right? Okay, so it's got to be this way, it looks like. Hot and warmer than last time. Okay, so we're moving in the right direction. Very hot. Okay. Yeah, it's somewhere over here. Spark Mac can do 30 pull-ups, and that's a military. Who is Spark Mac? Good for him. Great. That's great, man. Okay, so we're going the wrong way. Very hot, but colder. So Bacon Zone, I don't believe I've seen you here before. Good to have you. Incredibly hot and warmer than last time. Okay, we're close. Is it here? Well, shit. So that means it's got to be over on this side of the fence. Muslims don't come from our Western ideology, the way we take being a Muslim, and some move because of it. Well, okay, yeah, but that's what religious freedom is. If you don't like, you know, if you don't like this country, you don't have to stay. Okay. Okay, so somewhere over here. So many Muslims hook up with twinks on the DL. That is a statement. I don't know how true that is, but all right. Haha, we found it. A shoulder parrot and nature runes. Whoa, that shoulder parrot is worth a lot of money, apparently. Sweet. However, it would require me to take off my cape, and I refuse to do that. So we'll sell that bad boy on the Grand Exchange, I think. How many years for 440? Do you mean years lifting? I have lifted fairly consistently for 16 years in my life, since about middle school. I'm not putting the shoulder parrot on. I have a smithing cape and I'm free to play. No. I had a couple injuries through high school, so my squat I don't feel like is quite on the same level as my bench. I feel like of the BSD, my squat is kind of the weakest, but you know, right now, you know, having been on the cut for, gosh, March, April, May, June, July, God, 5 months. Ugh. I would say that I'm probably not at 440 right now. My guess is right now, if you put me under a squat rack, kind of at the close to the bottom of my cut, I'm somewhere between 400 and 440. My guess would be somewhere 415, 420, 425. Bible says you can have sex with a... Where does it... In what section of the Bible does it say that you can have sex with a 14-year-old? Do you hop in Discord VC often? I do, actually. The Discord VC is generally where I hang out a lot. I was thinking about doing it tonight, but instead I decided to do a second show. Abrahamic religions are a different breed. You said the Quran? Okay, so you're saying the Quran says that. There's a very big difference between the Bible and the Quran. Let's be very clear about something. All right. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, I think. So let's go ahead and log out. Okay. I don't know. I've never read the Quran, but I have read the Bible, and I don't think the Bible specifically states what the proper age of having sex with a girl is, so I'm not gonna buy that one without proof. But it is time for us to go and raid someone. I think we should raid... Malik is on right now. I think we're going to raid Malik. Leviticus, Genesis, something or other. I've read Leviticus. Leviticus says a lot of things. I do not think it says anything about the age that one should be able to have sex with a girl. Leviticus is actually Latin for of the Levites, which is they were rules for a specific tribe, really just a family within Israel. So what applies to Leviticus doesn't necessarily apply to us modern Christians in the 21st century. Catch on the flip side, didn't read the entire thing. Yeah, I have read the entire Bible. Yes, it's been a while, I will grant, but I read all of it in college. I have read the whole thing. In general, the New Testament carries more weight than the Old Testament does as a Christian. There is a lot of value to the Old Testament, but what is said in Leviticus and what is said in Deuteronomy and what is said in Numbers and what is said in Joshua and all those Old Testament books does not carry the same weight as the teachings of Christ. That is what most Christians will tell you. You read my entire thing, the Message. Oh, you said their Bible, not the Bible. Sorry, it's hard to... I've been going for about 2 hours, y'all. I'm pretty tired. I think we're going to go ahead and raid someone here. Oh, hold up. I didn't realize Green Sween was on. Actually, he's playing WoW. Let's do that. We haven't raided Green Sween in a while. So we're going to raid Green Sween. That'll be good. So that's going to be it for me today, y'all. Probably not going to stream tomorrow. Maybe I will later in the day, but right now it's looking unlikely just because I'm going to the North Shore tomorrow morning. I'm going to have a great big old time out there on the beach, getting tan, enjoying, the fact that I've built this fucking VOD, and it's going to be a good time. So until then, y'all, as always, make good decisions, because those good decisions form your actions. Those actions form your habits. Those habits form your values, and those values form an ethos to be the guide star through the rough waters of life. Much love, y'all. Come in for the hug. Join the Discord if you haven't. Just check it out. Links below. And raid. All right. See you later, YouTube.